All right, folks, today we're diving into the world of traveling, specifically navigating the airport experience in English. You might think, ugh, airports are so stressful, but trust me, mastering some key phrases will totally level up your confidence. Just imagine breezing through check-in like a pro. You don't even need perfect English for that. Confidence is key. So put on your imaginary seatbelts and let's take off.
Oh wow, I love that analogy. So, what's the very first thing you say when you get to the airport? Like, do you just, approach the counter and what? Just kind of? Like, freeze? Or is there a phrase I should remember?
Great question. When you head to the airline counter, you just want to sound confident and direct. You could say, "I'd like to check in, please." That's it. Super simple. I remember the first time I traveled alone, I froze and ended up saying, "This, big bag," instead of suitcase. I was flustered. The agent just smiled and said, "Your suitcase?" People are actually very understanding when you just try. So, even if your phrases aren't perfect, give it a shot.
Haha, that sounds so relatable. I mean, I can picture myself doing that, just pointing at a massive bag. So, what happens when you get to security? I hear that's where things can get, hectic.
Oh, totally. Security can definitely feel intense. You'll hear things like, "Please take off your shoes and belt," and "Put your electronics in a separate tray." Those are key phrases to listen for. You can also ask something like, "Do I need to take my laptop out?" if you're unsure. And if you don't understand something, do not hesitate to say, "Could you please repeat that?" It's super common. Once, I actually saw a passenger who misheard, "Take off your belt," and they were just left standing there confused. The security staff were really kind.
Oh man, I can just see that happening. Like, do I look that silly? Haha. So what about when you finally get to your gate? Like, what do you say then? Is it like a waiting game?
Exactly. At the boarding gate, you'll usually hear announcements like, "Now boarding passengers in Group A." It might feel a bit chaotic, but you can stay on top of it by asking questions. For example, you could say, "Is the flight on time? Cool." Or, "Which gate for flight B, A 203? I had an experience once at Dubai Airport where my gate changed last minute. I had to quickly recognize the words, "Gate change," and "Proceed to gate C12. Always stay alert.
Wow. That sounds like a scene from a movie? I mean, switching gates? How do you even, keep your head straight when everything's moving so fast?
Trust me, it can definitely feel like chaos. But staying alert helps. Plus, if you have your phone handy, using apps for flight status can make a big difference. And while you're waiting, you might want to grab a coffee. Here's a typical interaction. The barista might say, "Hi, what can I get you?" And you can reply, "A small cappuccino, please." Easy, right?
Oh, cappuccino, like my favorite. Haha. So do they ask things like, "For here or to go?" That would trip me up.
Exactly. Knowing how to respond is half the battle. You might say, "To go, please." Plus, phrases like, "Can I pay by card?" and "Do you have soy milk?" really come in handy. Airports are actually great for practicing casual English. People working there are super friendly and often willing to help.
Wow, that's so encouraging. But what happens once you finally make it onto the plane? Like, do they treat you like royalty or something? I imagine flight attendants walking around with tiaras or... maybe not?
Haha! No tiaras, unfortunately. But flight attendants usually greet you with warm phrases like, "Welcome aboard," or "Can I help you find your seat?" You could simply reply, "Water, please," or "Excuse me, where's the restroom?" You'd be surprised at how much can be communicated in such simple terms. I once sat next to a woman on a flight who spoke very little English. She said, "First time flying," and I replied, "You'll love it." Those simple exchanges can create connections across any language barrier.
That's such a beautiful thought. Language can, totally connect people, right? So, let's recap. We learned phrases for check-in, security, the gate, and even on the plane. Did I get that right?
Absolutely. To wrap it up, at check-in, say, "I'd like to check in, please." At security, ask, "Do I need to take my laptop out?" At the gate, you can inquire, "Is the flight on time?" Quote. And finally, on the plane, simply say, "Could I have some water, please?" Remember, practice makes perfect, and it's all about clear communication.
Love it! So where should we fly to next? I need to start planning my travels. This is so exciting.
Exactly. I'm buzzing with energy. You're going to be ready to conquer any airport in English. So get those travel dreams rolling. And don't forget to share this knowledge with friends who'd find it helpful. Subscribe for more real-life English lessons. Who knows where our next adventure will take us?